What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and today we're going to be breaking down Sunday's matchup of the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. Obviously, we already saw this matchup once before this season with the Dolphins beating the Patriots on primetime. It was a closer game than I think some might have expected, at least from a Dolphins fan perspective. It got a little frustrating. Offensively, we weren't able to execute like we usually do, but we started building a solid lead towards the end. The defense played well, but I'm here to break down once again. The teams both have evolved ever since. I think the Dolphins went on to drop 70 points in a game. I don't know. Yeah, because that was only week 2. The Patriots have been bad, but they had a win against the Bills last week, so things have changed. So the Dolphins offense comes in number 1 in points per game. Patriots defense comes in at 24th in points allowed, which is unheard of. Dolphins are first in passing yards per game. Patriots are 12th in passing yards allowed. Now, that's more of what you expect from a Patriots defense. Dolphins are first in rushing yards per game, and Patriots are third in rushing yards allowed. So, obviously, the Dolphins are 1 in every category, so regardless of what the Patriots are, Dolphins are going to be better. But by the numbers, Patriots have a solid run and pass defense, which doesn't surprise me, as they're always known for having a very good defense. Now, on to the offensive keys of the game. Number 1, protect the football. In my opinion, Patriots offense is still trash despite what they did to the Bills. The only way they can really beat you is if you basically give the game to them with picks, fumbles, things of that nature. So protect the football because, like I said, I really have very little faith in their offense. So if you're not throwing pick sixes and fumbling for 6 or having special team errors, it's going to be very difficult for that offense to beat you. Number 2, get the ground game going. We kind of saw the result of it not happening last week against the Eagles, not being able to get the ground game established, starting our drives like 2nd and 13 or 2nd and 10 because of a failed run. Be able to establish the ground game. Obviously, the defensive front we're facing is nowhere near what we faced last week. With that said, the Patriots always have a solid defensive front. They've got Devon Godchow, Christian Barmore, Dietrich Wise. They got guys, but it's not what we saw last week. Last but not least, kind of similar to what I just mentioned, but no drive killers. That was the big thing about what happened last week is you're starting 1st and 15 because of a false start or things of that nature, a hold or a negative play. Like, don't put yourself in those troubled territories because of a penalty. Now, this is a great point to make, is that was likely due to being away. I think Mike McDaniel literally said one of the delay of games was specifically on him. But just eliminating those 1st and 15s or 2nd and 20s because of a penalty that you get or a negative play, because then that's a drive killer. And that's what we saw all of the first half last week, and that's why we couldn't really get anything going. So those are the offensive keys of the game. Players to watch for the Patriots defense, Kyle Duggar. I love talking about him, honestly. Like, I hate the Patriots, but Kyle Duggar is always fun to watch. He flies around the field. He's physical. Got a lot of love and appreciation for him as a player. D2 guy as well. Jabril Peppers, he's nothing crazy, but he makes plays. He's explosive. Just a player to watch out for. But this is definitely based off the names. I mean, they're out Matt Judon, which is a huge blow. They're nowhere near as talented as they've been before defensively, but they always execute. You know how the Patriots are defensively. Christian Barmore, Devon Godchow, Dolphin legend, and then Josh Uche, who his production has not been good. My guess is that's because Matt Judon being out. Now he's getting all of the attention. But overall, for the offense, I think we should be able to move the rock pretty easily. Like we saw last time, the Patriots did try to deploy like a 3-safety look to try and take away our passing game, and it worked a little bit, but then we started running the ball pretty easily. So I think the main objective is, if they want to play 2 high or 3 high, then you have to be able to run the ball effectively on a consistent basis. If they want to play 1 high and test you, then pass it all over the yard. Kind of just allow the defense to dictate what you do and be able to execute it. Patriots defense always comes up with new things. Mike McDaniel mentioned it, but they're prepared for it, and I expect the Dolphins offense to be in complete control. Now, Patriots offense versus the Dolphins defense. Patriots offense is 31st in points per game, so they're dookie. Dolphins defense is 27th, so not much better in points allowed. Patriots are 21st in passing yards per game. Dolphins are 20th in passing yards allowed. I like to make note, too, the Dolphins have been improving week to week. a lot of these numbers were much worse. Not the points per game, but I know the rushing yards allowed was at 32 for at least like the first 2 or 3 weeks, and now we got the rushing yards allowed down to 19th in the league, and the Patriots are 27th in rushing yards per game, which is a big surprise for a Patriots defense. They usually love to establish the rock. So some defensive notes: Jalen Ramsey may or may not be back. Adam Schefter reported it yesterday. Then Ramsey goes, "I don't even know if I'm back." So we'll see. But I don't. We're all excited for Jalen Ramsey, but schematically, I don't think people comprehend the impact that he will have, because Vic Fangio defenses, it's a lot of zone coverage, playoff, and things of that nature, and disguising. But when you add a lockdown corner like Jalen Ramsey, things he'll do, he'll literally put him one-on-one on an island and then cater the rest of the defense to the rest of the players. So now you're not having to utilize 2 or 3 assets to stop one individual. You got Jalen Ramsey locking him down, and then you can dictate your coverage off of that. So it allows him to be more creative schematically, and allows you to play better overall team football. Jalen Ramsey's the leader of the defense already, and he would be a huge addition. Nick Needham might be back. Xavier Howard might be back. So defense is getting healthy. It looked solid last week, if I'm being honest. Like, they played their asses off last week as well. The defensive front is looking good. I've been very critical of Bradley Chubb, and he's starting to really show himself to be the player that we would all hoped to see. But my first defensive key is to stop the run. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I've mentioned earlier, the Patriots' offense in my eyes is quite trash. So if you allow them to run the ball down your throats, they're going to do it, because whatever you allow them to do, they're going to try and do, because they can't do much. And then, honestly, just keep doing what they've been doing. Defensively, like I said, I'm very pleased with how they've been playing recently. Even all of last game, the linebackers looked good. Hopefully we get Javon Holland back. He's in the protocol. But David Long looked good. Jerome Baker looked good. Our front four, for the most part, looked good. So I'm hoping to see them do more of what they were doing. Some players to watch for the Patriots offense. I've been very critical of them not being good. Obviously, they have the Devontae Parkers, Kendrick Bournes, Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry. But the main players I got here to watch, Ramondre Stevenson. I still have a lot of respect for him and his game. He's a solid player. And then Demario Douglas, he's I think a UDFA. He made, I think, one play against the Dolphins, and then he fumbled, and then he never played again. But he's like the only person on this Patriots offense that has some legit juice. And he had a good game last week as well against the Bills. So he's somebody to look out for. I always like highlighting the young up-and-coming players. Doesn't mean they're going to do good, but it's always good to know some of the young players in this league and the potential future they may have. So my prediction is that the Dolphins win pretty handedly, 34-17, and move to 6-2 on the season. Comment down below your prediction in the comments, and until next time, I'll catch y'all.